One thing that a lot of students have is pride for where they come from. I feel like I have great pride for where I come from. Some people I know I kind of take for granted where they come from. A lot of times international students, they're so prideful of where they come from that actually teaches other people how to be proud of where they come from.
Rossville. It started about 100 years ago, always the second weekend of August. It's a festival to bring the community together to get ready for the harvest, because we are a farming community, and we call the festival the Tall Corn Festival.
Ready, set, go!
I'm Kelly Brown, and I'm from Rossville, Kansas, and I am a local coordinator with Academic Year in America. I place students all around the surrounding area. A few years ago, I thought, wouldn't it be cool if I could get some of the students to come back and have a little mini reunion, because they all thought this Tall Corn Festival was really fun when they arrived for the first time. And I thought it'd be a great way to get them all back together. Our family's been hosting for a total of 20 years. I have been a local coordinator for going on 13 years. The first time we hosted, it was with a student that needed to be rehomed, and they approached us to see if we would be willing to allow the student to live with us for the rest of the season. And we had always thought about hosting, but we've never really took a step out of that box and had done it before. So when this student needed a home, we decided that we would open our home to her. And that kind of opened the doors for new ideas, wanting to learn more about more cultures. And so I decided then to become a coordinator, so we'd have a coordinator in this area. Over the years, I've probably placed over 200 students.
We took this picture where everybody in my family was in the same lineup. So it was 10 years ago, and this is how small everybody was. And our foreign exchange student is there, and then this is the one from today, and she's here, and how much bigger everybody is that she's around. Anyway, it's a cool picture. Yeah, I think it is a wonderful thing for communities like this one, small midwestern community, to have foreign exchange students. I think Kelly does about 5 a year, and I know a lot of my kids who graduated from here, they just benefit from being around. It's a way to experience the culture and the way life is in other countries without having to go there, because you've got someone here who's living here full time and can teach the students things and give them different perspectives.
Having exchange students here has been a part of my whole childhood, all of my years going to school in high school. Kelly and Todd are very close family friends, and they've hosted so many students. It's just kind of like what you do, and it's been absolutely incredible.
And having students from around the world come to our little small dot on the map, it makes our dot a little bigger. When you see things that are happening around the world, whether they're good or they're bad or destructive or positive, you have a connection to it. You've seen it, you know someone that's lived there, you wonder how they're doing. Every community should embrace that opportunity to learn and to grow and to just to find out more what's going on.
Rossville High School has been great, and the kids have been great in taking these kids in and hanging out with them, and that's all they want. I mean, they want to come and they want to experience what it's like just to be an American kid. I loved having them. And they were all a part of our family, and my family loves them just as much as I love them. It's great for the community to have them in there, and the community has been so kind.
What time is it? Good to see you again.
So that was the hallway of our school. I mean, it looks like in any American movie, and it was like it. So probably might be able to find my locker again. It was somewhere. So yeah, still smells the same, still looks the same. So that's my name right here on the tree. So all the foreign exchange students went to Rossville High there on here.
This is my old style how I used to make art. I was very into pencil drawing. In 2016 and 17, teacher Larsen's classroom. He was like the coolest teacher there was in USA.
Oh yeah, didn't you make that? Yeah, you remember that? Did you remember it before this?
No, I did not remember, but I can see this is my style.
It was super cool to see them. For them to remember me as I remember them is a really special thing. The impact that they have when they're here. I have proof they were here with these objects, and then it spurs the memories and things like that. There's students that then have those memories of hanging out with those people from other countries. They've won state championships with them. They've maybe done some acting with them, or played in the band with them, or any of those kind of things, or hung out on a game night with them. And they have those memories, and they've impacted those people for the rest of their life.
Being back here in Kansas feels really good, but also quite emotional. I mean, for me it was 10 years ago that I was here last, and I was much younger. I look back and I feel all those emotions I did when I was first here, and so it's a really good feeling, but also a very emotional feeling.
I mostly want to see the whole town, my old host family. They're amazing. I'm very happy to be here.
This reunion is just for me another reason to come back to family, come back to home, because I really like it around here. Again, of course, it's a great experience to meet all the former exchange students, talk to them as well.
I've always wanted to come back. I think at some point I realized I needed to come back to have some kind of closure in my head. I mean, if you live somewhere else for a year and you go back to your regular life, at some point it just becomes like a dream you might have had once. So just to feel it again and to see everything again, I decided to come back, and I'm really happy to be back. I'd say the impact of being an exchange student is that you realize there's so much more to the world. I mean, your culture isn't the only culture, it's definitely not the right culture by any means, but you also realize that people are very similar in all of the world, and I mean, although you're 8,000 kilometers away from each other, you're basically all humans, and basically it's the same in the fundamentals.
I think a lot of self-growth happened for me. Obviously the English language, I think I proved it as well, but that wasn't even the main aspect for me. For me it was more the part of being very independent for the first time in my life, being on my own, finding out who I am in front of very new people, because growing up you're always surrounded by much or less the same people, people who think like you, who act like you, and then when you go abroad you're actually exposed to people who act very differently or who think very differently, and then you got to figure out, who am I, what's important to me, what do I want to convey in this situation, in this new situation, and what's not that important to me, what can I leave behind.
When I got back, I got super independent. The first moment I got back, I was like, I'm going to the capital city of Riga to finish my studies, like continue studying there. I think I've grown as a person, I'm more independent, and I'm braver to take risks on universities and stuff I like, so that really helped me.
The impact that being an exchange student had on my community back home, I probably annoyed them a little bit with my stories from the United States and from my experience, because they just kept on living their normal lives back home. But of course they were enriched by all the stories and all the new perspectives that they got from me living abroad.
I always tell people it says a lot about your community and your school if you have a student that wants to return back and visit. They can go anywhere in the world for what it probably costs to come back to the middle of the United States, because it's very expensive to do. But they choose to come back and see this area, their families. That says a lot about your school and community if the students want to come back and visit.